Praise be Jesus and Mary.
Now and forever.
We're continuing our reflections today on Franciscan Spirituality. We'll just shift gears a bit now as we move from talking about Dogmatic Christocentrism to Spiritual Christocentrism. As we've talked about in previous reflections, our union with God cannot be reached except through Christ, who's the mediator of all of God's works, so the mediator of nature, grace, and of glory. Christ is the life. He's the door. He's the foundation of the entire spiritual edifice which attracts and elevates every creature. The holiness of the Father that we are called to reproduce can be reached only by means of Jesus. He's the way who allows us to penetrate into the mystery of the divinity. If we're not living branches engrafted into Christ, the mystic vine, then we can't arrive at perfection and true happiness. We can't unite ourselves to God without Him. All those who desire to be united to God will only find their fulfillment in the incarnate Christ and in His crucified love. So without the precious blood of Jesus, which washes away our sins, but which also purifies our natural powers, without the washing in His blood, our soul is impotent, essentially. It's incapable of arriving at the heights of the spiritual life. As St. Bonaventure says, he says, there's no other way to arrive at our perfection except by means of a very ardent love for the crucified one. In Himself, Christ unites in a unity of person the extremes of the two natures, of God and of man. He offers Himself as an object of contemplation and of love for every person who lives on the face of the earth. And all that what we just said in a nutshell is a spiritual Christocentrism. It's the Franciscan thought regarding it. It's a spirituality that transcends naturally, that actually transitions naturally from dogmatic Christocentrism that we spoke of in our previous reflections of the past few weeks. Franciscan spirituality recognizes man and humanity as ordered to Christ and made for Him. Christ, who's a universal mediator, again, of creation and of grace. And it puts Christ as the center and foundation of both our spiritual life and our social life as well, too. In his book on Franciscan spirituality, Father Ciccarelli here speaks about the inextinguishable longing of the soul for Christ, and so we'll share those thoughts today as well. After having contemplated the greatness of Christ in His humanity, in His divinity, in His universal primacy, in His absolute predestination, after that, after focusing on Christ, we delve into the depths of man to try to understand what's in us that's most characteristic and irrepressible. And we look to discover a fundamental movement that's like an instinctive response to the creative love from which we, by means of Christ, have our life. There's actually a double movement in that. There's a movement from the creature and a movement from God, too. God is the infinite life who condescends, who lowers Himself, who gives Himself to us. The creature, us, is finite life who participates in the life of God and who searches and reaches out towards the infinite in what Father Ciccarelli calls an indestructible longing, he says. St. Francis's intuition and St. Bonaventure's teaching both place being itself at the core, at the heart of every life. So it's not first about what you do. It's first about who you are, especially who you are in God's sight. But at the same time, as human beings, we're active, we are dynamic, and our dynamism is conscious, it's interior. It's a dynamism that animates our thoughts and frees our actions. It's in our conscious actions and choices that we develop our own personality. And whether we know it or not, we're always tending towards a goal that's outside of time. A goal to which we're oriented by God, who's the cause and the end of our inexhaustible search. Our search for love and happiness is inexhaustible because finite things and contingent things really don't truly satisfy us. The goods of the earth, the beauty that we find in creatures, doesn't fully satisfy us. Even the great abstract philosophical ideals and truths don't satisfy us, nor does divinity conceived abstractly. We're spiritual beings, yes, but we're also concrete. We're gifted with intelligence, but above all, we thirst for love. We hunger for love. So ideas can't satisfy us. Neither can any of the passing things of this world. So even though you and I are finite persons, we don't just search for some infinite abstract thing. We search for the infinite person who will help us to grow in the fullness of justice, fullness of love, fullness of life. We search for this infinite person as the life of our life, as the highest and true life, as the love of our life as well. And the search of ours is realized in the incessant need to give ourselves totally to someone else. And this someone else, who is Jesus Christ, in giving himself to us, he actually gives us the fullness of life when he does that. So let's ask Our Lady today to help kindle in our hearts, or rekindle in our hearts, that longing for God and for her Son, which the Lord has placed in all of our hearts. Let's really pray to Our Lady to ask for the grace to really have the love of Christ be kindled in our hearts, so that others can be affected and infected by it as well. Praise be Jesus and Mary, now and forever.
Would like to grow in love and knowledge of the Immaculate Virgin Mary? Consider a subscription to the Missio Immacolate magazine. The Missio is a bi-monthly magazine published by the Franciscans of the Immaculate for over 15 years. Every issue of the Missio features articles about Our Lady's privileges and her mission in the Church and world for the sanctification and conversion of souls. The Missio takes to heart the ancient saying of the Church, De Maria nunquam satis, of Mary you can never say enough. You can subscribe online at missiomagazine.com, that's MISSIO, magazine.com, or go to the homepage of airmaria.com. Back issues of the Missio are also available upon request. The Missio is a practical way to behold your mother and take her into your home. Ave Maria.